At this metal recycling factory, a worker is feeding material into a powerful wire winding machine when something unexpected happens. Never allow any part of your body to cross the plane of a machine's in-feed point. A wire winder is built to pull material in with tremendous strength, and it can't distinguish between objects. Once material enters the feed zone, the machine will continue operating until the power is stopped. Always use proper tools to guide materials instead of your hands, keeping your body completely clear of the moving zone. Machines operate by mechanics, not awareness. Your safety depends on distance and control. In this busy workshop, a forklift operator lowers a tall, bulky load that completely blocks his view. He doesn't realize that a coworker is nearby, right in the vehicle's path. When a load is stacked high enough to block an operator's line of sight, it creates a dangerous blind zone. Without clear confirmation that the area is free of people or obstructions, it's never safe to move or offload. Communication is key. Every move must be clearly signaled and acknowledged. For operators, the golden rule is simple. If you can't see, don't move. For ground workers, always assume you're unseen until the operator signals back that they've spotted you. At a steel yard, a massive coil slips loose on a sloped surface. A nearby worker instinctively moves closer, unaware of the potential hazard. Never position yourself in the path of a moving or unstable cylindrical load. A rolling object gains momentum quickly, and once it starts moving, it's nearly impossible to stop manually. Recognizing potential movement paths and keeping clear is the best way to stay protected. Rounded loads must always be chalked, braced, or handled using proper lifting tools. When gravity takes control, even a slow roll can create significant danger. At an auto repair shop, a worker is helping guide a truck into a narrow service bay, but he positions himself between the moving vehicle and a fixed barrier, a highly unsafe position to be in. Never stand between a moving object and a stationary surface. Even a small misjudgment of speed or distance can remove your margin for safety. When spotting, your first priority should always be having an escape path. Use clear hand signals from a visible, safe distance, never from within the vehicle's line of travel. Remember, even slow-moving vehicles can generate significant force. At an industrial plant, a worker begins welding on a large 220 kilovolt transformer, unaware that it's a sealed system that may contain trapped gases from the insulation oil inside. Never perform welding or any hot work on electrical transformers unless they've been completely de-energized, drained, and professionally tested for flammable or reactive gases. Over time, internal oil can release vapors that may become hazardous when exposed to heat. A transformer isn't just metal, it's an active electrical and chemical system. Always secure a proper hot work permit and verify safety with a gas detector before starting any weld. On an automated production line, a worker steps too close to an active robotic arm. In the rush to respond, other co-workers enter the same area, unaware that multiple robots are still operating, creating a series of uncontrolled movements. The operating area of an industrial robot is a defined high-force zone controlled by programming, not human judgment. In emergencies, rushing in without stopping the system can make things worse if the machines are still active. A machine in motion doesn't recognize a human emergency. The correct response is to hit the emergency stop before entering the active area. Acting too quickly without control only increases the risk. Inside a repair shop, a crew uses an unsafe shortcut involving flammable spray to help seat a massive tractor tire on its rim, turning a simple task into a dangerous pressure situation. Never use flammable materials to assist with tire seating. This practice can cause an uncontrolled pressure release that may damage equipment and put people nearby at risk. A tire is designed to hold air, not uncontrolled pressure. The only safe method is using a bead blaster and standing at a safe distance, ideally inside a protective inflation cage. In a steel plant, a large metal block is lifted using a magnetic crane. A worker standing nearby doesn't realize the magnet's grip is weakening due to an electrical issue. Never stand or work beneath or close to a suspended load, especially one held by an electromagnet. Unlike slings or chains, a magnetic grip can fail instantly from a power change, contamination, or internal fault. The area beneath any lifted load must always remain a no-go zone. The best protection against a crane malfunction is distance. Stay clear until the load is securely placed and the area is confirmed safe. In this warehouse, a worker is moving sacks at the base of a tall, unsteady stack. What he doesn't realize is that the structure above him is seconds away from losing balance. The stacks were built without proper interlocking or tiering, forming a wall that looked solid at first glance but lacked real stability. From a distance, it appeared secure, yet its lower layers were already uneven, making the entire setup fragile. As the worker lifts one of the sacks from the bottom, the balance begins to shift. Within moments, the stacked materials start to give way, creating a chain reaction that sends items sliding and tumbling across the floor, disrupting everything nearby. When materials aren't interlocked or evenly supported, even a small movement can cause a large stack to lose stability. A tall, poorly balanced pile may look safe, but disturbing its base can quickly trigger a collapse of the entire setup. Always build stacks using safe engineering principles, interlocked, tiered, and kept within approved height limits. The area around tall stacks should be treated as a potential fall zone. Taking a few extra moments to secure materials properly can prevent workplace incidents and protect both people and property from avoidable damage. At this worksite, a team of workers is attempting to unload a large hinged truck panel by hand, but as they begin, the load quickly becomes unstable. Without mechanical lifting equipment like cranes or forklifts, the crew decides to move the heavy panel manually, a risky choice given its weight and shifting center of gravity. The lack of lifting support leaves the team relying solely on balance and coordination. As the panel is raised, it wobbles unexpectedly. A slight change in balance causes it to tip forward, forcing the workers nearby to step back quickly to stay out of the way of the unsteady load. No one should ever stand directly beneath or too close to an unsecured or shifting load. Once balance is lost, gravity acts immediately, making the area below unsafe in an instant. If a load can't be handled safely without being directly beneath it, it's time to use the right lifting tools. Proper mechanical assistance not only keeps workers at a safe distance, but also provides full control during the entire unloading process. Using the correct equipment every time ensures safer, smoother, and more reliable operations. To keep learning from these critical lessons, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. Stay aware, stay safe.